Hi, my name is Graham Potter. If you've been following the videos we've been doing on YouTube for some time now, you'll be familiar with this Scots pine. This is a tree that we styled last summer. It's now springtime, the tree's beginning to grow, it's just starting to make its candles, and so we're going to be repotting this tree for you today. Part of the reason for repotting this tree at this stage in its development is to get rid of the old mountain soil. That's important because we want to generate a very fine fibrous root system in a small pot, which obviously is the backbone of a good bonsai tree and the thing that really fuels the tree and helps it to grow. So we'll be walking you through that today. When you're repotting Yamadori for the first time, it's very important to consider where the root system has actually developed. Just because the tree has grown well doesn't mean to say that you're going to have roots absolutely evenly distributed throughout the root ball. And as we begin to progress with this work, we're going to just work around slowly, little by little, cleaning away what you can see here, which is the soil that the tree has been planted in, and then progressively we'll get into this black leaf mould, which is the soil the tree would have been originally growing in the mountains. But one of the most important things is to be very careful with the root system so that we're not going to damage the roots that have developed over the last few years. Okay, we're beginning to get down this tree now, and we've removed most of the supplementary soil that was put in after it was collected. Now you can see at this point here, this tree was growing on a rock, and you can see the trunk is completely flat at this point. And all around it you can see this old black soil, which is basically composed of the tree's own leaf mould, and that's what it's been living in. So we're gradually getting down to it, and as you can see there's absolutely masses of root, but we're being really careful with this root not to do more damage than we absolutely have to. Okay, we've now finished cleaning all the old mountain soil from this tree, and as you can see we've got absolutely masses of root. Some of it's dead, which we're going to prune away, and then some of it we're going to actually basically just wind up and put into the pot, because at this stage we can't or don't really want to be root pruning the way that we would say with a deciduous tree, because that's really going to impact on the health of this tree. That process comes much later in the development of this tree as bonsai. Okay, we've now managed to get this tree into this pot, and obviously we needed a shoehorn, but it's gone in there quite comfortably, and all the root that you saw that we teased out has basically all gone into this pot. So now we're just going to secure this with wire and then begin to work new soil in amongst the roots. So when it comes to actually beginning to fill this pot with soil, because there's so much root in here, but at this point it's fairly long and leggy, what we do is just put very small amounts of soil in, and then just by moving the roots side to side we can actually get the soil in between the roots. That way we don't end up with a big carpet of roots all compacted together with soil on top, which invariably will get wet and begin to cause some root rot in the period that this tree actually begins to re-establish itself. So we just add in soil, small amounts at a time, and working it in between the roots until basically it doesn't shake itself in any further. Okay, we've now finished putting the soil in this pot, and surprising how much they swallow, so don't try and rush through this stage, because it is important to fill all the voids within the pot with soil. That helps the roots to establish very well. So now what we're going to do is take this tree outside and give it a good water. When you water a tree that's been repotted like this for the first time, it's very important to make sure that you really do water it well and not just damp it down. So we'll actually water this until the water coming out of the drainage holes in the bottom of the pot runs clear. Okay, that's the work completed on this tree. And just one or two important points that I would like to make. When we're doing this work with Yamadori, which is at this stage in development, we're not particularly concerned at this point with the styling of the tree or the way that it looks in the pot. We're more interested in cleaning the soil and developing a strong root system. So this is not the final pot for this tree, nor is it the final position, but it will be obviously as it goes through its life as bonsai and it's progressively repotted again and again over the years. That will enable us to be able to change the position, change the pot to something that's a little more perhaps aesthetically pleasing. Before you decide to do work like this with Yamadori, it's very important to consider the health of the tree. So prior to actually undertaking this work, we've looked at the health of this tree and the strength of it, decided that it's very vigorous, therefore it's strong enough to be able to withstand the repotting. It's not something that you should do on a tree that's weak and sickly, but because this tree is strong and because he's healthy, we've been able to do this work and we can be confident that he will survive. And also, as we show you at the beginning, the tree is actively growing and this is much safer work to do at that point. So hopefully it's given you some idea on how we get these big old mountain trees into pots. So thanks for watching.